Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lorraine Rose, and if you're new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. It means so much. For today's video, I'm going to be decluttering, reorganizing, and creating a minimalist pantry. So hopefully this will encourage you to tackle your pantry space. But without further ado, let's just get right into the video. I have an upper pantry as well as a lower pantry. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the upper half of my pantry first. I'm going to clear that out completely, go through everything, reorganize everything back into it, and then we'll work on this bottom half of the pantry. So the first thing I'm going to do is empty out the top half of my pantry. I'm going to take all of the containers down and set them on my island, and any bulk food items that I have, I'm going to go ahead and set in the hallway because I am going to be doing a closet makeover for our hallway closet later on in the year, and I'm going to be storing all of my cleaning supplies as well as all of my bulk food items within that closet. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some quart-sized Ziploc bags with a pen and a grocery bag, and I'm going to go through every single bin one by one, and whatever items that we no longer use because we do the ketogenic diet now, I'm going to go ahead and label the baggies and put them in these baggies and give them to a friend of mine. You can also donate any food that you no longer want that isn't expired yet, so you don't want to throw it away, but you want it to be a blessing for somebody else. And I have some extra mason jar lids that I'm just not using anymore, so I'm going to give those away as well. And that is just a little tip I would give you before you make over your pantry space. I would say to decide what kind of diet you want to do in this new year that will fit best for you and your family, and that will make it a lot easier when you go through your pantry deciding what you want to give away, what is no longer good, and what you want to keep. So I basically just kept things that would fit within the ketogenic diet for my husband and I, and it just made it really easy to decide what I want to give away. And once you have gone through all of your containers, you want to go ahead and clean them. Now I am going to use some rubbing alcohol because before I had labels for my containers, I just wrote on my containers. I wrote recipes or I wrote what was on the containers with a permanent marker. So if you have permanent marker on any of your containers that you want to get rid of, if you're wanting to upgrade to labels like I did, then rubbing alcohol works great. Or if you're wanting to replace your stickers with other stickers, then sometimes when you take a sticker off, it can leave a sticky residue on your containers, and rubbing alcohol will get that off as well. And I'm also going to wash my containers with hot soapy water as well, and then just dry them really good. And I purchased these containers from Walmart. I did not buy them all at once. I bought a few containers a month. So every month I would buy 2 or 3 containers to add to my collection. And that's one little tip for you. If you are on a budget like me and you can't afford to spend hundreds of dollars all at once to organize your pantry, just buy a few containers and build upon that. And what I do in my pantry, which is what I do throughout my entire home as far as organization goes, is I stay within the same color palette of wicker baskets, white containers, or clear or glass containers, and that's what I use to house everything in all throughout my house. And that color palette is really easily accessible at any store you go to, so you can buy things slowly because that's a really great color palette to work with. And now that all of my containers are clean, basically what I did was I pulled out all of the bulk items from the lower half of my pantry that I knew could fit into containers. That way that would free up some space in the bottom half of my pantry. And I'm just housing those things within my containers right now, and I'm also adding more labels to my containers as I put new things in them. And this is all that was left out of those items. I didn't feel like I needed to put these in containers because they were smaller packages. And before I put any of my containers back into my pantry, I'm going to go ahead and spray the top half of my pantry with some homemade all-purpose spray and wipe it down really well. Now I am going to be doing this same process to the rest of my kitchen, but I'm all about doing things slowly and taking your time, so that's what I would recommend for you. If you're wanting to declutter and reorganize your kitchen space and create a more minimalist kitchen, don't do it all at once. Take one day to do your pantry, take another day to do your refrigerator, and then take another day to do the remainder of your kitchen. Now I did purchase this large wicker basket along with 2 more food storage containers for this pantry makeover, and I purchased one other item that I'll show you in a minute. But the reason that I purchased this large wicker basket is because I love to can. I love to be able to give anything that I can away anytime we have guests over for dinner, just as a little gift for them. And so I'm going to be housing my canned good items in this wicker basket, and that will just look a lot more aesthetically pleasing than a bunch of random size jars. And for some of these containers, instead of labeling them, I just took the stickers off of like our collagen and our magnesium, and I stuck them right onto our containers, and they will easily come off for if we ever transition over to a different magnesium or a different collagen, or we just use those for something different. But we use magnesium and collagen on a regular basis in keto, so I just went ahead and stuck those on the jars, and then I used this glass jar to house my extra mason jar lids in, and I'm going to just set that in my pantry. And now I'm going to go ahead and house all of my other jars into my pantry at this point in time. Now I am creating a minimalist kitchen, but I love to host. I host dinner parties, I host big events. It's just something that I feel called to and that I really enjoy doing. And so for me, even though I am creating a minimalist kitchen space, I do have to keep in mind the fact that I love to host. And so if you like to host, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. Make sure to like this video and click the bell so you can be notified, because I am going to be going throughout my entire home this year and creating a minimalist home, decluttering, reorganizing, but keeping in mind that I do love to host, so it's not going to be a space that only has 4 cups. I'm going to have more than 4 cups, because not only do I like to host, but I like to live as much of a zero waste lifestyle as I can. And what I do to maintain a zero waste lifestyle is every month I take one cleaning product and I replace it with a zero waste cleaning product, and then I take one just home product like paper towels and I replace it with unpaper towels. And so that's one way that you can create a zero waste home on a budget and not feel like you have to transition all at once, because that's really overwhelming to feel like you have to do that. Just do it slowly and eventually you'll get there. And now I am just working on the bottom half of my pantry, just going through everything, deciding what I want to give away, what has expired, and what I want to keep. Now, eventually, I'm going to purchase all wicker baskets for the bottom half of the pantry, just because I like that look better. But for now, we're going to just use these white bins that I already had. And basically what I'm going to do to transition over is I'm going to just buy 2 new wicker baskets a month until I have all wicker baskets in the bottom half of my pantry. And these are all of the food items that I decided that I'm going to keep. And so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to place all of my baskets in my pantry before I try to organize anything into the baskets. And that's what I would recommend for you to do also. Decide how you want to style your organizing containers, and then you can place what you want into those containers. And I also bought this kitchen wrap organizer. These are one of the items that I have not transitioned over to zero waste yet. Plastic wrap, aluminum foil. I still have those and I just haven't gotten to that yet. My transition to a zero waste lifestyle has been a bit of a longer process because, like I said, we just can't afford to transition over all at once, and I just don't have grace for that. I like to do things slowly. I like to take my time. I like to save up for things. We try not to buy things on credit if we can. So hopefully that encourages you. Don't feel like you have to do it all at once because you really don't. And then I just organized everything back into the pantry in a way that made the most sense for us and our home. And tomorrow what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through our fridge, and then the next day I'm going to be going through our kitchen. So stay tuned for those videos. I'm going to create as much of a minimalist kitchen as I possibly can, so I'm really excited about that. And I am doing this all on a budget. Every month my husband is allotting me a certain amount of money to organize each space in our home. So since the kitchen is a bigger space, he gave me $250. So I didn't purchase a whole lot of new things for the pantry because I wanted to use most of my budget for the cabinets in my kitchen. I even didn't purchase that many new things for my fridge. I'll do that later, like slowly throughout the year, but the kitchen will be good to go, so I'm excited to show you guys that transformation. But that is everything. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it encourages you to tackle your pantry space. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, I love you guys so much. Bye.